There's nothing quite like making yourself a decent cup of coffee. Bloody beautiful. Speaking of painful segues, why don't we go ahead and make something? Geez, the tide went out on that pretty quick. How you going, everybody? My name's Bill. Welcome to Crazy Grandad. Today I'm going to be assembling a little project I've been working on the last couple of days. Nothing major. But first, I suppose, a little bit of context. I, like a lot of other YouTubers out there, when I'm filming, use tripods. They're really, really handy. Unless, of course, your name's Eric with a K. Eric, if you're watching this, just big deep breaths, mate, and just think warm thoughts about your awesome camera gantry that you've got, of which I'm incredibly jealous. A lot of the rest of us use tripods when we're filming. I've got two of them. One of them is a rescue that I found on the side of the road, poor thing. So I picked it up, took it home, kept it warm, nursed it back to health, as you do. I believe the reason it would have found its way out to the curb was the fact that the top was missing off of it, the little flat platen bit on the top where the camera would screw onto. But that's not a bad thing for me, because I don't actually use cameras when I'm filming. Up until recently, I've just been using my everyday phone, my smartphone, to film with. Yeah, recently, the other day, I managed to get another phone up and running. Just an old, one of my old phones. Yeah, got it working again. You know, a lot of these older phones, they've got a reasonably good camera in them, and you know, they're 4K, so they're not bad film quality out of them for what they are. And it saves you going and forking out, you know, heaps of money for expensive video cameras and whatnot. So basically, I've got two tripods, two phones, and but the tripods are meant for cameras. So what do? So basically, the rescue one that I found, initially, what I did was I hopped into CAD, took a few measurements off my phone, went into CAD and designed a phone holder for it. And I've had it for a while now. It works really well. Yes, I know you can get online and you can buy like tripods for smartphones for not much money, but I figure, you know, I've got this tripod laying around and I've got a 3D printer sitting right next to me, you know, why not make something? So this one works, actually it's really handy because I film on a couple of different platforms. This gives me the ability to easily swap between landscape and portrait with the phone. Just, yeah, being able to put that through 90 degrees and it still keeps when you are in landscape mode, your cameras are still in reasonably close to the central pivot of the tripod. And likewise, when you tip it up and you put the camera in, the lenses wind up in this corner up the top, so still reasonably close. So if you're panning or anything like that with the tripod, you don't wind up with that whole sort of what I call driving around a bend effect. So yeah, that's worked really well. And yeah, it's a great little tripod, not bad for a roadside find. So the other one that I have is a nice little Hanimex tripod that I was gifted by my daughter when she gave up her sort of amateur photography career. So, well, truth is, you know, she moved out and she left it behind, so it was fair game. And that one, there's nothing wrong with it. It works beautifully. It does the job. It's about the same size as the other one that I've got, the red one. Now it has the top to be able to mount the camera on, and it's a quick release thing so that you can, have several of them and swap between cameras without having to muck around. And that's great, but I need to be able to put a phone on it. So basically what I did was I took advantage of the quick release mechanism on it, and designed a little thingo where I can hold a phone in it, and swap between, doing whatever I need to do. So basically took a lot of measurements off of the original, heaps and heaps of measurements, and then went into Onshape and started designing. So the bottom half of it I did in 2 pieces. The reason for that is some people get it in their head that when they're 3D printing something is just to do it all in one bit, and that's not always the way to go. This part here, I could have tried to do it in one piece, but it would have meant a lot of support, and it would have meant all of my layer lines were going one way, which I didn't really want. So obviously this part here, actually, you know what, let's zoom. There we go. There we go. You can see that that's like a copy of the bottom of the original, I'll call it the wedgie bit that wedges into the actual tripod itself. So that fits in there beautifully. And then, so when this was printed, let's just whiz back out again. There we go. That was printed up that way. Okay. And then we have the next link in the chain here, which is basically like I suppose you'd call it the hingey bit for the actual phone holder. The phone holder itself is similar design to the red one. In fact, it's more or less almost identical. Yeah, but I made these two so that they bolt together. So this one was actually printed up that way. So that allows me to just take advantage of a couple of different layer directions when printing. So they go together thusly. So basically your orientation would be, your phone would be sticking out this way or up this way, and you are looking that way. So what I'll do is, oh, you know what, let's here we go, we've got the holder. So that's made for this phone here. Just like that, real simple. Just slots in. It's tight, it won't fall out. Yeah, it works really well. You can still see the whole screen from behind, no dramas whatsoever. And then likewise, if you want to tilt it up and film the other way, piece of cake, no drama. Now this one's got some of that, what do you call it? It's like adhesive velvet stuff inside of it. That just helps to hold onto the phone a little bit. What's it called, this stuff? It's like you put on the bottom of ornaments and stuff so that they don't scratch up your grandma's nice shelves and stuff like that. I don't know what you call felt, I suppose, stick-on felt. It's paper thin, but yeah, I use this on also. All of my stuff's got this on the bottom. It's great. It stops stuff from sliding around. Yeah, it's got a bit on the bottom as well. Stop stuff sliding around, and stop, if you're putting something down on a polished or a glass surface or something like that, it'll protect it. And it's also insanely good at attracting cat hair. Ask me how I know. So anyway, yeah, a little bit of that in there. It just helps to hold on to the phone. Does a great job. Nice and simple. So these two here just go together thusly. Nice and straightforward. Couple little recesses in here for the nuts for the bolts. Pop that together real quick. So it's handy having two cameras when I'm filming, because it allows me to get just, different angles of certain things or whatever. I don't know if you watched my last video. I had a lot of different footage from different angles, and it was all of this. So this, yeah, to be brutally honest, I haven't just finished this. It's been finished for several days. All right, so these just slot together. I was actually really happy with how these came out. A lot of the time when you're fitting 3D printed parts together, you can run into dramas with a lot of post-processing, lots of sanding and that kind of carry on to get things to fit together. Yeah, these actually, they printed out beautifully, knocked out supports, and it was pretty much a little tiny bit of sanding here and there, and then it was like literally no drama. Like a little nut in there, a little nylock nut. There we go. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you how this fits on its respective tripod at the moment, because said tripod is holding up the janky rig with which I'm filming on right now above my desk. There we go. Just put just enough tension on that, just so that you want it, you don't want it too stiff, but you don't want it to fall over either. So this one, it'll go past 90 degrees, but that's it. It does the job. There we are, nice and easy. So it's things like this where if you are if you're doing things like if you're starting up a channel or whatever and you're starting to film, don't think you have to go out and spend, huge amounts of money on a flashy camera. Most smartphones these days have actually got a really good quality camera in them. Use it. Just don't fill the memory up with video files. Just make sure that you get your footage, dump to your computer or whatever, and then wipe them off your phone, so you're not filling up your internal memory or whatever. As I said, this one's got an SD card in it. I think it's good for, what is it? I think it's about 32 gig. So, but I usually only just handful of bits of footage on it each time I shoot a video, and then dump it, and then pretty much format it. So yeah, just a little bit of a, I don't know, I suppose a bit of a hack, if you will, for just making life a little bit easier if you're starting out filming and you sort of you haven't got a lot of coin, because some people don't, and well, neither do I. These little cameras are good. These are ones that I use. I mount these onto my remote control cars and stuff. They're only like just little El Cheapo action cams. They've got all different holders and that came with them. One of them's on here now, like little clear plastic waterproof cases, sort of like you get with GoPros and that kind of thing. And even though these were insanely cheap, these cameras, these are actually waterproof. They've been underwater and they're actually pretty good. But yeah, same again with these little micro SD card. With these, you can get stills, you can get video footage, and you can run them through Wi-Fi as well, which is handy. And you can swap them to night vision as well, hence the little LEDs around the lens there. So yeah, they're good. The video quality is not that crash hot, but for something like this, when you're getting like change out of $10 for these each, like, what do you want? So, but they're not bad. They're not bad for what they cost. And then obviously I've made a few various different little holders and bits and pieces for them as time's gone by. So yeah, there we go. Little bit of just a quick vid on how to get yourself sorted out with tripods and the like. So yeah, just goes to show you don't need to spend a huge amount of money. Oh well, I reckon that'll be about it. Thanks for coming. I'll see you in the next one.